Greetings, everybody. Welcome to Talking Town Towers. It's me, Matt, with the cruncher, Hot Cross Burns.
Hot Cross Burns. We've got some good
good
takeaways today, Matt. We'll get to them later.
Well, we've got your 3-letter takeaways. Well, happy Easter, everybody. And talking of resurrections, the biggest resurrection since Tyson Fury climbed off the canvas against Deontay Wilder, like The Undertaker in the WWE. Ipswich Town, 8 wins on the bounce, 9 clean sheets. Not been done, Rich, since Man United in 2009. Can you believe that?
Yeah, I see that stat this morning. We are 1 win away from equaling the club record.
Unbelievable.
Obviously off to Cheltenham, and we Monday, so fingers crossed.
Can we do it tomorrow? Apparently, the record is also held, I don't know, across multiple leagues, whatever it might be, not by United or City or Liverpool, Everton. Apparently, Stockport.
Stockport County. Did you like record breakers, Matt? Did you like record breakers when you were younger?
Roy Castle, big
Norris
fan.
McWhirter.
Yeah, Norris. He was good, wasn't he, Norris?
Yeah,
Let's get that show back. Great show.
Record breakers. Town are going to be record breakers. Hopefully at the end of the season. We could hit the 100 points mark here, Matt.
We could. Chris Akabusi, do you remember him?
Chris Akabusi. Yeah, he's all very fast, didn't he? Chris Akabusi.
Yeah. Great stuff. Where's your morning been anyway? 4-0 yesterday.
Working.
Happy days. Oh, you was on the tractor today, weren't you?
Working this morning. Home. The sun is shining. It's lovely, isn't it? Don't it make you spring in your step when the sun's shining and Town are doing well, and it's the full house at Portman Road, and we're absolutely bouncing, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I saw Martin before the game started yesterday, and we were chatting. Oh, and a big shout out, by the way, to Matt Leggett, Vinny Leggett. Big shout out, Vinny. I know you're a fan. I think the Cruncher inspired Matt to buy you Vinny's first shirt when we came in the first game back from lockdown. They were telling me in the car park yesterday. So there you go. I mean, that's a great thing, but you also, what would that cost? 40 quid?
48.
Yeah.
48.
All good.
I've got 2 on the way. Richard Chandler, I know you're not watching, but he probably will watch.
Yeah.
It's possible. 7 players with 10 goals.
We'll see.
I beg to differ.
It was great to meet Matt yesterday. Big shout out, Vinny. Big shout out, Martin Swallow.
Martin would have been. It was his birthday. Well, it was his birthday yesterday. Spoke to Teresa. I'd give her a text yesterday morning, say we're all thinking about her, and she just said, Martin would have loved watching Town at the minute, as we all do, Martin. You know, winning, playing attractive football, scoring goals, full stadium. So yeah, we miss you, Martin, but we're going to get back to where we should be.
I hope so. Do it for him. Jeffrey Cooper says to me, does Matt still think McKenna should be sacked? Well,
you're not living that down, mate.
Well, when your record in 15 games is worse than Lambert and Cook, and they've all got the Spanish archer, the old Evo.
I know we won 8 on the spin, but before that, we'd won 1 game in 8.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, you're seeing. Yeah, I mean, look, yesterday I put on our Discord, right? It was like watching a championship team against a League One team. Absolutely, a League One team that's trying to get 6th. By the way, we made them look like Forest Green Rovers, right? But this is what I was trying to say when I said I don't think McKenna's going to get us there, because we weren't playing this style of football, were we? And we've said on the show previous, Rich, Sheffield Wednesday, Bristol Rovers. You had Morsey arguing with the fans. We almost went 3 down against Sheffield Wednesday. They were reset moments, weren't they? We are playing a lot differently to that.
Michael Smith moment looks like I was on the Wednesday pod on Thursday night. No one's if people haven't listened to it, go to Spotify. Wednesday Till I Die, we had a League One promotion special. I predicted Town to win the league, and I did actually say to this Wycombe fan, if you're going to come try and play football, you get beaten. If you're not going to try and play football, you get beaten. But going back to the run we're on and the game yesterday, Matt, I think if this was before Christmas, I think we'd have struggled.
100%.
Lee's right. Lee Anderson's totally right there in the chat. Transfer window was huge. And that is this is probably the best transfer window that we've ever had.
Yeah.
I think it has to
generate this. Yeah. To generate this amount of wins.
We did say on here that whoever we bring in, they need to lift the levels. And they have. If you look at all of them over the positions they play in, they've brought the levels up. You know, and so they should do. When you're spending some money, you know, you are spending some cash, so you do expect the levels to get better. Did we expect this? Hand on heart, no. I don't think There's a lot of people I know Colin's the ultimate positive, and he says we can win every game. But I don't even think Colin, like I said, when we were at Bristol Rovers, when we've drawn 0-0 there, Matt, on Valentine's night, I think even Colin would have said we would win the next 8 games, and possibly we could win the remaining 7. We could. We're playing that well at the minute. We are.
Yeah,
should be
absolutely.
afraid of anybody, should we?
Yeah, I totally agree. To prep for today's show, I went to the show following that Bristol Rovers game. You had McKenna's bingo balls. Well, that's stopped, isn't it?
Yeah.
Other than Leaf coming back yesterday, that's now stopped. I was calling for McKenna to go. You said, if you think we're getting top 2, you've gone mad.
Yeah.
I mean, but it was right at the time, wasn't it?
I know football is
in a
strange.
terrible
It does. Football moves fast and it can change in an instant. But I don't think anybody thought we'd win. Look, we did. You said, Matt, we've had some kind fixtures, but it's also needed Sheffield Wednesday to have an absolute meltdown. I did actually send James the link for the show to watch, and he's just replied on WhatsApp, "No thanks," with a little smiley face. So, I spoke to James. We've had some help along the way. If you look yesterday, you look in the Wednesday game, a decision went against Wednesday that probably wasn't a penalty. They did have one before Oxford that maybe could have been given. If you look in the Barnsley game, I don't know if you've seen that, the Brayford handball from James Norwood on the goal line.
I've not seen that, no.
It's a great save. Other referees missed it, I don't know. But there's luck involved along the way, which everybody needs. In sport, in any sport, Matt, you need a little bit of luck. But we're very good at the minute. We are very good. I know we've had a little bit of luck, but we are very good. We've
gone from like Bristol Rovers, where it was something like 560, 600 passes, just doing the same thing over and over. And everyone wondering whether or not McKenna had a plan B, to playing this suddenly this quick counter-attacking football. I mean, what's the best illustration of that? What you saw against Derby last week for that goal. Walton to the back of the net, 11 seconds, Rich. We weren't doing that over Windsor, were we?
No, we were slow. We were methodical. We moved the ball too slowly. And look, yesterday we were patient, but I think the fans were a little bit nervy. I think that's understandable, Matt, this stage of the season, because so much is on the line now. You know, we're back right in where we wanted to be. So you've got a little bit more to lose. So we were a little bit edgy. But I did see that, Mike, the save from Malik Wilkes header, Matt. If you haven't seen the highlights, that isn't one of the saves of the season. It could have been 2-0. But I think we always, yesterday, they were obviously sitting in, trying to frustrate us. Goals change games, don't they? And then obviously George Hurst scores his 4th goal in 4 games, and then we're off and rolling, and then score the goal before half time. And then the second half becomes easy, doesn't it, really? And we sat there, and I think we cruised it in probably about 3rd gear, didn't we? Yeah,
absolutely. Big shout out to Evan Legg. Nice being on Talking Town yesterday after the game with my dad. Sorry it was a bit lively over there, Evan. It's not normally like that.
Evan's dad, I'll watch back. Evan's dad said that, big shout out, big opinions on this platform. He said that Greg Lee, Matt, I don't know if you heard it, is a better player than Leif Davis. I don't agree. I don't agree personally.
Evan said that.
His dad did.
Oh, his dad. Well, look, I'm all in on Greg Lee. 100% I'm all in on Greg Lee. Now, whether or not Lee is quite... I mean, he's a better defender maybe than Lee. Maybe he's not quite so good getting forward. And you wouldn't really want Greg Lee taking a corner, would you? And as Martin said early in the season, get Leif Davis on corners.
Corner. Let's talk about that corner, the delivery.
The first goal, Hurst, 38th minute. I thought Burgess had scored it.
It was like a young Neil Thompson over there. On a shot, bending one in. He whipped him in, didn't he, Tomo, when he played?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, tremendous. Yeah. Rocket. His left foot was like a rocket, wasn't it? What was it? The goal, Root Saw, wasn't it? Was the rocket shot outside the box?
That was on his right foot that day when he cut inside and then.
Oh, yes.
Bent it in. Orange
Absolute
kit.
sense. Absolute sense. Yeah. But great header from Hurst. 4-4 now. As I've said before, a person looking rather like me and with an Essex accent saying, I don't think Hurst has got a goal in him. You can file that one under getting rid of McKenna. Look, he's found his feet now, hasn't he? I mean, is it because he's playing games? He's got used to playing with the players he's with, Rich? I mean, what do you think it is? Or is it just getting those minutes and winning football?
Look, he gave a really good interview. So there's one on the club website and then there's one on the radio. He spoke to Stephen and spoke really well. And you go back a few weeks and it was the Dapo in the team, Matt, and he was scoring the goals and Hurst was on the bench, and it's flipped now. I was really pleased for Freddie, to be honest, when he came on. Yeah, because he's not had a lot of minutes. I think he's been a little bit unlucky because he's got a good goal return. I was really pleased for him to come on. He obviously got the penalty. But yeah, George Hurst, it's like I said, it's a level up. it's a level up, Matt, in everything that he does. He gets hold of the ball. He can bring other players into play. He's strong.
Yeah.
And now, look, goal scorers, they're obviously judged. You want to score. I know it's McKenna says he's not really worried who's scoring the goals, and we get that. But as a striker, you want to be in and amongst it, don't you? Because he obviously scored the goal at Burnley that night, which got him up and running. And I think them 2 up games, Matt, really helped George Hurst. Because that when he sort of had the opportunity then, didn't he? Yeah,
Absolutely.
Absolutely. I thought he'd done really well there, and he's a good player. Good player. Obviously got an assist as well for Wes's goal yesterday.
Yeah. Was he your man of the match then? Man of the match for you?
I think it's probably between him and Burns yesterday, if I'm being honest. But I did say when we done the transfer show, me and Martin, I said if he gets between 6 and 8 goals, so he's got 4 and 4, and he's still got 7. Yeah. And I would think, with the way that Kieran made his subs yesterday, Matt, I would think that we're in such a privileged position there when you see taking your front 4 off, and most of them players who's coming on the pitch, Matt, they'd be walking into any other League One team, wouldn't they?
I said to the fella, there's a guy sitting next to me. He's been to the last few games. That seat's normally empty, and I said to him, this is where the 5 sub rules really helped us. I know we referred to this earlier in the season and that, but you see the quality that Wycombe are bringing on in 8th, by the way. They're not having a bad season. And then the quality we're bringing on. I mean, it's just like...
Can I give a shout out to one of the Wycombe subs yesterday, a lad called Jordan Willis.
All right.
So he played for Coventry, over 100 games, played nearly 90 games for Sunderland. He signed in February till the end of the season. So he's on the bench. He's come running along in front of us in the first half.
Yeah.
As I'm quite near the pitch, I like to give the subs a little bit of stick. And I said to him, mate, you must be shit if you can't get a game for this lot. And he laughed. And then from that time, when he come past every time, he had a bit of banter and he'd give me a little thumbs up when he left. And I thought, many players nowadays, they just ignore you. They can obviously, Matt, you can obviously hear things when you're next to the fans, but he sort of acknowledged me, he laughed, and all the people around us had a bit of a chuckle. So fair play to him for being a good sport, I thought.
Yeah, that is good. That is good, especially when you're getting drubbed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But when Bloomfield brought the 2 subs on in about 86 minutes, and they wear them vests now, and it's like how far they run.
Yeah.
There's a lad putting one of them on. I'm thinking, blimey, mate, you only come on for about 5 minutes there. What can you do? What? How would you feel as a footballer when the gaffer says, "Right, on you go, lads"? You think we're 4-0 down away from home.
Yeah.
No win situation, have you really?
You've got to have all the data, apparently. That's pretty right. But yeah, absolutely. Well, I mean, there you go. Here's a question for you, right? So Leicester struggling. Managerless Leicester? Say they do come down. Will Hurst be integral to their plans? Or do you think we're going to try and buy him? And what would you all pay? Tell me in the comments. What would you all pay?
Well, Lee Anderson messaged me yesterday. He heard from a steward. I don't know how reliable source he is. He reckons Hurst is going to be signing in the summer. So
I hope so.
It depends, doesn't it, who comes in as manager of Leicester? I think he signed a 5-year contract, didn't he, not long back?
It's going to be some wedge involved here, isn't
there?
Yeah.
But he probably has to look, and I did say this on one of our previous shows, he's one of these players he obviously went to Belgium, he was at Blackburn, Portsmouth. He's played a couple of, sub appearances in the Premier League. I think Leicester will probably stay up. Is he going to make the breakthrough there, Matt? I very much doubt that he will.
Yeah, I agree.
They've got that insurance now, haven't they? That they've got him on that long contract, so they can. Yeah. And the better he plays, the more goals he scores. His probably transfer fee's going to be going up. Look, 3 million, I think.
I don't think you'd go. If they do stay up, I don't think you'd go from a successful back end of a League One campaign into leading the line for Leicester in the Premier League, would you?
No, it wouldn't you?
No, absolutely. Mike Baker used to think. Mike Baker says Jesse Marsh in talks with Leicester, favourite for the job. Well, he didn't hardly pull up any trees at Leeds, did he? Particularly, but
I would sign Hurst if I had the chance to sign him.
2 million is Lee Anderson.
It's like Lee says, they're 2 million. Who else? Yeah. Where else would he go? Who else would he go to? Yeah, that's a fair point. And he seems like he's enjoying his football. He's playing, he's scoring goals.
He's also enjoying it here more than what he did at Blackburn, because he didn't really get much of a look in there, did he?
No, I mean, he didn't score a goal, did he? And
he seems to have found his name there.
It's one of them where we obviously chased him, didn't we, in the summer? So he's sort of Kieran's. If he'd have been here at the start of the season, that'd have been interesting to see the dynamic between him and Ladapo.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were always searching for that striker, weren't we? Freddie play, and then the level would go down. Now it doesn't. Now does it?
No, exactly. Dominic Dean says, "Crunch, are you patron? Are you a patron?
Patron saying the tickets, man.
Patron saying the tickets, of course.
I am.
Ben Moore's only paid 1.5.
I've had loads of people. I've had loads of people message me after the game. Can you get me a ticket for Cheltenham? Probably not. Maybe try for Charlton. I might have a few for Charlton if people can't make it.
Yeah. James Warren Elmer. They apparently want 5 mil. There's no trains out of London on for the Charlton game. Again.
That'd be handy then.
So yeah, annoying. So I'm probably gonna have to drive it. I was only an half hour on the train yesterday. It's brilliant. Why bother driving on the A12 when you can do that? Absolutely.
I went in the fan zone yesterday and it was absolutely rammed. And you're thinking it great. I know you're queuing to get in. I know you had a bit of a laugh, didn't you, Matt, about obviously Barrow and Oldham last year getting in. But shall we touch on the
Well, I saw this. Yeah, so I'm walking down. I'm walking down from the station. Massive queue. I thought it was either someone's handing out free money, it's Collins signing his book at one of them little program booths, and everyone's queued up for it, or it's the new turnstiles for the Alf Ramsey. And of course, it was the latter.
Look,
but it was snaking around Staples.
He did say, Mark Ashton did say to get there early. I don't think a lot of people did. Look, you're probably going to have a few teething problems, Matt, when you open something like that with, it was like a sellout crowd. So it's probably something that they probably, could they avoid it? Probably not. You know, people got there early. I think it's just one of them things. You'd hope it wouldn't happen again for the Charlton game because people will be a bit more clued up. But the thing was, I think you cannot get in. If you walk down past the Cobbold stand, and you normally just went in there, didn't you? Turn right.
Yes.
But you've got to go right to the back of the queue, I think. If you're coming down there, they didn't have a queue coming. Remember the queues against Burnley in the FA Cup?
We were fuming.
There was about 4 queues, but you weren't sure which one was going where. So, look, I suppose they've got one queue. People, you've got to get to the back, and I think a few people missed 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
Unfortunate.
If you was in the Ramsey stand yesterday, everybody, in the comments, tell us how long it took for you to get into the ground. I know Colin was in there, wasn't he? I think in the lower. So they've got more turnstiles, presumably, than previous.
Well, I think they're all digital now as well, aren't they? As well, so
all automated stuff. That Burnley game was when I said to the bloke, "This is right, old shambles." He said, "You're off that talking town."
And they also had a bit of a problem in the bars at half time. I think the shutters started coming down when there were still people at the. So they've had a little bit of a nightmare there. Yes, but
look, it's good, isn't it?
Mark Ashton says at the forum, not everything's going to be perfect, and look, there's loads of stuff going on around the club, and they're not going to get everything right first time. So you just got to be a little bit patient.
Yeah, you've got.
It's frustrating, I get it, but you just have to be patient.
This happens with the success comes. You see, the 8 games, 28,511. You didn't have that with Mick McCarthy era, did you? And talking of which, we could talk about this because Martin doesn't like Mick McCarthy. He bans the talk. But he has left Blackpool. That turned out well, didn't it?
Yeah, that's what I thought. As soon as I heard Mick and Terry gone, you remember the little when he was talking about Chris Shooting at Brighton when he was Republic Island manager, and he's like, when I left Ipswich, that worked.
Spit you on
look,
the side, Mick, never mind.
Was it going to probably work at Blackpool? Probably not. I think they're a bit of a mess anyway. But then you say, look at Neil Warnock, what he's done, Matt, when he's gone into Huddersfield there. I mean, absolutely tremendous. They were dead in the water, they were, and now they're looking. Well, they've beaten Middlesbrough and Watford the last 2 games. Yeah. Good manager, Warnock. He was kind of on my little list, wasn't he? If McKenna had continued in the vein of Lambert and that'd be interesting. What do Huddersfield do in the close season? Because obviously he's only signed until the end of the season, and he's probably going to keep them up. Do they say right, or is he happy just to go back to Cornwall and get on his bike and get on his tractor and just until the next job comes along for 6 months? It's interesting that show I was talking about earlier, where we were like saying, like, you know, McKenna go, "You're mad if we're going to be top 2, right?" I said Ipswich were risk averse, but I suppose, you know. So they got rid of Lambert and Cook, right? Their records were better than what McKenna's was at that point over 15 games, right? Maybe I was wrong about that. Maybe there was more of a risk of keeping faith with the rookie manager. I'll give O'Leary and Ashton and the American owners credit for that, you know, because I was ready to pull the trigger. For me, this season or nothing, bust or nothing. You're spending all the money, but they've taken a risk on him, and you know, I said I would eat humble pie at the end of the season,
and I hope I'm going to be on this show. Large slice with cream.
It's all about now finishing the job, though, Matt.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, we're only ahead of Sheffield Wednesday on goal difference, right?
But you've put yourself right in the box seat now. I know we're looking.
Yeah.
Yesterday, look, it was a bit frustrating. Look, fair play to Plymouth. They've had a stinker in the Pizza Cup final. They've had a long trip to Morecambe. You know, that's a long old haul up there. They're losing 1-0 at half time. Now, they've showed a little bit, and they've come back and won that game 3-1. I think Barley Mumba was stretchered off yesterday, so
bad injury apparently.
Yeah, so that could be him done for the season. But look, full credit to Schumacher, because I said to Colin in the week, it could go one of two ways. They've done well, Plymouth. We have to say they've done tremendous this season. And I think that final when they've got whacked by Bolton, I think it's just one of them one-offs. Maybe it was too big occasion. You know, they've got to Wembley, they froze a little bit. I think you just have to draw a line in the sand if you're him.
Yes.
Say, right, we've got 8 games now to get us out of this league, and they're in pole position. We're playing catch up, and Sheffield Wednesday. Well, what do you want? What do you want with your Wednesday crumble today? Do you want cream, or I'll have 4 points in 18? Thank you very much. I
spoke to James from the Wednesday pod in the week. He sent me a couple of voice notes, and I did feel sorry for him. I've got to say, if it weren't, you know, 2 clubs in a free horse race.
It's a weird one. I was talking to Cole Brooks this morning, Matt, and they were 23 games unbeaten, and then they've drawn with Bolton, and then they've lost to Forest Green, which I don't think no one can still believe that. But then he's changed his goalkeeper. You know, he's put Stockdale back in, who I think is, if you look at Wednesday, a lot of goals they concede. Poor goal. Used to be a good goalkeeper. I think time has caught up with him.
Oh, God, yeah.
And even if you look at yesterday's, if you watch the highlights later, even Oxford's penalty, it comes from him spilling a ball. And I'm thinking, why do you really need to change your goalkeeper when you've literally gone half a season unbeaten? George Byers, Josh Windass out as well, injured.
Yeah.
Big blows for them as well. I think they're out for most of the season as well. So And I said to James on Thursday night, for me, when the transfer window, this is where it's going to pay dividends for us, Matt. When we've signed 4 players and they've all had a big impact. They've only signed Aidan Flint. He was the only signing they made. Yeah. So did they get a little bit complacent there?
Maybe.
A bit like us in 14-15 when we were top 2 at Christmas under Mick, and then we find Freddie Sears, Richard Chaplow, but he was on loan, and we didn't really add to your squad and make it better. Whereas these 4 players we've signed, all of them have had a big impact, haven't they, so far?
Absolutely. Yeah, like I say, James at the Wednesday pod, I know you're good friends with him, Rich, and he's a good lad, and I've been on that show, and I just feel a bit sorry for him. You know, 3 clubs vying for 2 spots, but you know, this is sport. It's a competition.
He said he was even planning his away days next season in the Championship.
Oh no! Oh dear. Well, let's come back. Let's come back to the.
We haven't done anything yet. We haven't accomplished anything yet. So we've just got to keep chugging on, mate.
Who knows what's around the corner? Sometimes, if you see a glimmer of light at the end of the tunnel, it could be the train coming towards you. That's what Barry Earn said to me once. We'll come back to the fixtures in a minute. Let's move on to that second goal. Chaplin, another great performance from Chaplin, and a typical Chaplin goal, wasn't it? Not much space in the box. Shimmies to the left foot shot. May have gone through legs. Keeper don't move.
Martin did say that the pitch will cost someone a goal. He did say Town. He's had a £5 bet win. Jacobson slips on his arse. Wes sends him into next week. Rolls it across. Now we've seen countless goals, and we said this, I think, in one of our early season shows, when last season Chaplin, I think, did he get 11 goals, Matt? 11 or 12?
Something like that.
A lot of times he was too deep.
Yes.
And I think we said about, if you look at a lot of Connor's goals, they're them ones just inside the penalty area, take a touch, bang. For me, if you're an opposition defender, you can't give someone like Chaplin that kind of room out in the box. You can't.
Is he 21 goals now? Is it 21 goals?
Yeah, 18 in the league. He's got 4 assists. I think he's wrong-footed the goalkeeper. Let's talk about the goalkeeper. Did he not fancy it yesterday? Because he's got done on that one. The Wes Burns one, I mean, what is he doing there? It's literally gone straight through it.
It's going through his legs, isn't it?
And he was the keeper who was giving it the big licks at Adams Park when they beat us 1-0, waving at us. You weren't doing it yesterday, were you, son?
I'm looking forward to next Saturday. I want blood.
Well, yeah, we'll probably come on to Charlton. But, look, it was a great goal from Connor, and it just vital time as well, Matt. We've scored that first goal. Then we scored that one before half-time. That was pretty much game was done then.
Place was
I
rocking.
see a couple of guys. This could be a 3 or 4.
Yeah, absolutely. I said to the lads around me, like, I feel like this is going to be when we saw the red wall that Bloomfield had parked in his defence. I said, if we can just get that first goal, I think it'll be like Cambridge, and you'll suddenly see it 2-3, whatever it might be. And I didn't think our luck would be in with Hurst. I think that was very marginal offside. I don't know anyone else thinks.
He said in his interview he's always sort of on that line. So
yeah, it was
I've
marginal.
seen it. It looks like he's possibly just off.
Yeah, it was a lovely finish as well.
Yeah, lovely goal. Lovely through ball from Broadhead, wasn't it? And he's took it well. But I see the linesman's flag go up straight. So in the Premier League, would he keep his flag down, the linesman, until he's put it in the net and then he puts it up, doesn't he?
It's annoying, that, isn't it? Well, let's go back to how they used to do it back in the day,
But yeah, I think it's a marginal one. But Chaplin, he's got 21, he's got 18. He's probably going to finish on 22, 23 league goals. First, well, he's not a striker, is he? Since Daryl Murphy, obviously. I see an interesting one on. I've got a question for you, Matt. Interesting one in, I think it was Friday on Twitter. Someone's saying they think this is a question for everyone in the chat as well. They think that this team would beat the playoff team of 14-15 under McCarthy.
Well, I mean, look, it's kind of a different style, isn't it?
Yeah,
I think we probably would. Yeah, I would agree with that. I just think we're just playing a style of football that's really difficult. Well, against these teams in League One, these crap teams in League One, it's very difficult. Going up against, I know Crystal Ball Chandler said in the Discord, he could see us being a top 10 championship side right now. I mean, I've seen a few championship games this season where I think we could probably beat your Stokes on that.
That'd be an interesting clash of styles, that, wouldn't it?
It would be, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know.
I think that team, it was just Mick squeezed out everything. It's like a sponge.
Yeah.
He just wrung it out, and all the players knew their jobs. Yeah. And
I did like that team.
He knew
that
how
team should have been automatic. Yeah.
Well, we've touched on this.
Yeah, we don't need to go down there. Let's stay with the present. And then we're talking to Hursty, with maybe everyone thinking he's marginally offside. Puts a little nudge, as the guy said next to me. Put it through, nudge it to Burns. He did, and it was a great finish. It was a Wes of old finish there, wasn't it? A Wes of last season kind of.
Look,
rapid.
He's now got 19 goal involvements.
Yeah,
so he's averaging one in 2 for goals and assists.
Really good. That's as good as last season, right? That's as good as last season.
I think Wes has got more assists this season than he had last. People were saying he's had a poor season. I don't think he has.
He's had a quieter season.
He's coming to his own now.
Yeah.
And I think he'll probably. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets double figures, Matt, in goals this season.
No, I hope so. He's had a quieter season because of the impact of people down the left, but he's played for Wales. It's the ditto Broadhead. I think he's had a really good season. I just think he's probably been a little bit more in and out. There's less onus on him having, to create and score, but he's still putting up good figures. And I thought that was a great goal yesterday. Like you say, the keeper didn't really fancy it, did it? Was it right?
He's hit it hard and low, but I'm not sure quite what the goalkeeper's doing. It's just.
I thought where I sit, I thought up in the west, in the Pioneer, right at the end. I thought he'd beat him at the near post, which I thought was a bit crap.
That's what I thought until I see it back. And then the goalie's not got himself set, and it's just literally gone straight through him.
Yeah.
Didn't fancy it. It looked like he fancied it to me.
yeah. And then we made the rafter subs after that, didn't we? And then obviously, the Dapo's come on, Edwards has come on. He was a bit too twisty and turning, gets the pen, right?
Yeah, it's a Stonewall penalty, wasn't it? Really, when you think about it. I see the guy Scowen, he was pleading innocence, but I think you're not probably going to see a more obvious penalty this weekend. And Freddie tucks it away, gets his goal. That's what you want to do. He's come off the bench, got himself a free goal there, really, Matt, and he's gone on to 17. It's good, isn't it? That you've got these players that there's a great harmony in there amongst them in the dressing room, because a lot of these players, they're bit part players at the minute. Your Edwards, your Jacksons, even your Greg Lees. Greg Lee hasn't played for weeks. Comes in last week, does a really good job at Derby. Doesn't even make the bench yesterday, but they're around the group and everyone's pulling in the same direction. It's what Mark Ashton said pre-season, didn't he? Players, supporters, if you're all pulling in the same direction, it shows what you can do, Matt, and it's hopefully going to end with us actually getting out of this league and hopefully winning this league.
Do you think Wycombe had a bad day at the office yesterday, or was it just our quality was just too good? And it's what we said earlier. It actually was a championship team in making versus probably what's going to end up being a mid-table League One side.
But I just Wycombe do well. They get what 5,000 down at Adams Park, 5,000-6,000.
Yeah.
But I think yesterday they needed to win that game, and I think you're just asking for it. The Town now we can. Yeah, we didn't start brilliantly. We were just trying to find them little spaces, but as soon as we score that first goal, the game's done.
It's curtains,
bang, 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 bang. We're 2-0 up at half time. We haven't really played that well. I wouldn't say we were terrible, but we weren't as good. And it's interesting we kicked to the North Stand again.
We're making that decision, surely. We must be doing that.
Kieran said at the forum on Thursday about when they play away games and they look at like where the fans are and if you can and he says about making a fast start. So if you're kicking into your main stand where all the singing's coming from, that to me, it makes sense now, Matt. That's not by chance that 5 teams have won the toss and they're just suddenly going to turn us around, because they'd be looking and thinking, well, hang on, every time the other team's done it, they've gone home with the tails between their legs.
So if we'd started doing this earlier, we'd have 100 points, 100 goals right now, would we? But little changes. Look, marginal gains, they call it in cycling, don't they? In like those kind of sports. 1% marginal gain.
I think Kieran and them, they look at all these little fine details. Yeah. And if you can gain that little 1%ers here and there, and I know you think, what, you're kicking a different way. Does it make that much difference? Well, it's showing that it is, isn't it?
Yeah. Especially when the North Stand is on song. Oh, look, Dominic Dean's right there. Wycombe aren't the same without Ainsworth. He ain't really pulling up trees at QPR, is he?
If you look at QPR from, I think, where they were in like October, they were 2 points off the top of the league with a game in hand. Now they're like 4th bottom. They could get relegated. Look, he fitted the football club to a T, didn't he?
Oh, God, yeah. I mean, look, it was that hand in glove moment, wasn't it?
Whereas Matt Bloomfield, ex-Town, by the way.
Probably a little bit different stuff. One appearance, was it 600 for Wycombe?
Notts County away in the League Cup. I was at that game.
He was at that game.
And, he also played. Do you remember England under-19s played at Portman Road when Bentley was playing?
Yes.
Dean Ashton was playing, and Matt Bloomfield played in that game. Me and my dad went that night. I think there's about 22,000 there. But
I was at that.
It's probably going to take him a little while to get his. I know he's Wycombe and he's played 600 games, like you say, Matt. But it's a lot different when you're playing and then now you're manager.
Yes.
A bit like Jim when he was. Well, Jim went from sort of finish straight from playing to the next season being a manager. So
yeah.
And he's probably like most of them players there are players that he's played with. So to get that, it's totally different, isn't it? When you're on the pitch and you're one of the lads, and now you're the manager and you're calling the shots. So I think Wycombe every season they do well for what they've got. They might not be pretty to watch, some of the tactics but football's not always about playing football, and there's more ways to skin a cat than one, isn't there? Really.
He's probably gone in there.
Would you want to watch Wycombe? Would you want to have a season ticket out of the park?
No. I mean,
it's dire, but
he's probably gone there too early, isn't he? Because he was doing all right at Colchester, and then it's probably a dream job to him. Fair play.
They're probably going to finish top 10, but then you look at the teams who are above them. A lot of these teams, they're ex-Premier League teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So it's hard for them.
Got Derby. Yeah. I mean, look, Derby fell out of the playoffs yesterday, didn't they?
They were out already. They were already because Peterborough went above them last week. But Derby had a win, they won, and Peterborough won.
Yeah.
So, but we're not worried about that end.
No, exactly. Well, let's talk fixtures. So we go Cheltenham tomorrow, where Sheffield Wednesday obviously had a bit of a sticky moment. Went 2 down, didn't they? Got back to 2. Should have maybe won 3-2 if they'd had a bit more luck, maybe at the Woodward, didn't they? So we're at Cheltenham tomorrow. Sheffield Wednesday host Accrington at Hillsborough, and Plymouth have got Lincoln. And I've got all the fixtures down here there. So what we expecting there? At least Plymouth and Sheffield Wednesday to both win their games there? You'd have thought, right?
We know they're both at home, and I would have think that I know Sheffield Wednesday have been in crap form, but we see Accrington, Matt, down at Portman Road. They're crap.
Was that the keeper who got sent off and then got sent off in the following game?
They're not very good. They're not very good. So I would say a Sheffield Wednesday win. You know what Plymouth do. I know Lincoln they went to Wednesday, didn't they? A couple of weeks ago. Got a draw specialist, didn't they, Lincoln? Lincoln. Can you really see them going and getting anything at home park? I can't. Not when you've got 52 points out of 57.
I keep doing this. I've just said it's Saturday, isn't it? Because we're doing the show, I think it's Sunday. I did this the other day. I've been on holiday this week.
It doesn't feel like a Saturday, because yesterday felt like a Saturday, didn't it? And it does feel like a Sunday today.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, still got Easter Sunday.
Yeah, I'd expect both of them to win. So the pressure's going to be on Town to perform and get the job done. And I think I've got this down. From the last 8 games, I had 6 wins and I had 2 draws. And I have got this down as a draw. I had this game. This is a draw, and I had Barnsley as a draw. So win the other 6 games would take us to 98 points. Which
you'd be gutted if you didn't win the league.
I think if Wednesday won their remaining 6, they can only get to 99.
I don't think they're going to do that. They've played 40 at the moment on 80
game in hand, and the goal difference.
So over the season,
well, our goal difference is about, I think, 10 or 11 better than theirs.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, about 11. I think.
I personally, I think it'll be a tough game on Monday. But look, I hope I'm wrong. I honestly do. I'm going there, and I'm really looking forward to it. But it's a tight ground. We all know what happened last season down there. I know a little bit different team. They had the Bento's a massive throw. We all remember the Macaulay Bonne, the miss. Matt
Penny, shout out Lewis. Matt Penny.
Yeah, Matt Penny banged one in, didn't he? I think that was his only Town goal. But they've got Alfie May. I see that he got League One Player of the Month.
Yeah, and shout
5 goals.
Player of the Month, Manager of the Month.
Yeah, no curse. Didn't even think about it, did we, yesterday? Didn't even think about the curse.
No, the superstitions. I think it's very difficult for Sheffield Wednesday right now because they've done 40 games, right? 81 points. That's just over the season. That's just over 2 game to points average.
Yeah.
So taking in their current form, they've got 6 games to go. You've got to think at the most they're probably going to hit another 12 points, which would take them to 93. And I feel like if we win all our home games, that takes us to 90.
Yeah, if you say we win on Monday, say we win the next 3 games, Matt.
Yeah,
that takes us to 90 points, and we've still got 4 games to go.
I'd be really surprised if Sheffield Wednesday get beyond 93 in their current form and just taking in what they've done over the season. With that 20-game run, they're still only averaging.
I said the other night on the Wednesday pod, I think it's going to be us and Plymouth, because if you look at Plymouth, I think the home games they've got Lincoln, Cambridge, Burton. I think they've got Bristol Rovers in there. So 4 games there, and their home form is absolutely fantastic. The game for me, for Plymouth, their toughest game is next Saturday. They're on at lunchtime. They play Exeter away. Local derby.
Yeah.
Now, Exeter would love to stick it up them. I'll tell you now.
Well, I think Exeter, that was a midweek game, wasn't it? I think earlier in the season in the rain. And I'm pretty certain Exeter were leading that.
Yeah,
so
they
were. Eventually got done 4-2, but that could be
Monday night. I think it's on a Monday night. I think
it was. Yeah.
So they're going to be bang up for that game.
Yeah.
They've got nothing left. They've got nothing to play for, so they can come out and they can have a right go at Plymouth.
I think it was Lewis in the chat earlier said he thinks it's going to finish Plymouth top, Ipswich second, and Sheffield third. And if you look at Plymouth's running, right? So they've got Lincoln tomorrow. Then you've got the big game, their derby game. Then they go to Shrewsbury. You seem to have just fallen off the cliff since we did them.
So they've got Saturday, Tuesday, 2 games away there.
Well, they've got 3 games. After that, they've got 3 games at home on the trot. I mean, look, they've been unbelievable at home this season. Is it only Fleetwood that have beaten them there?
No. Port Vale beat them, and
Port Vale
got a draw.
Oh, so that's where they've dropped points.
Which is unbelievable when you think they've beaten all of the top teams.
Yeah. So they've got the 3 games back to back are Cambridge, Bristol Rovers, Burton Albion. Now you've got to expect them. You've got to expect 9 now. And if they get the win tomorrow, as we're expecting, they're going to get over 95 points.
This is what I'm saying. This is why we have to win our remaining 3 home games.
Yeah.
That takes us to 90 points. And then your away games, if you can win 2 of them and a couple of draws. Look, I think if we don't go up in the top 2 now, Matt, I think we're going to kick ourselves. With the position that we were in and the position that we're now in.
Yeah. I mean, look, the footballing gods have smiled on Kieran a little bit, haven't they? Because I think if you'd been playing these teams that kick-started that 8-game run in the first place, like Forest Green and Burton and whoever it was, those teams that are down and struggling, right? If we'd just had them in isolated wins, you wouldn't have had that momentum, would you? But the fact they've all come along quite nicely. And again, you take this as a 3-game, a 3-game series, wouldn't you? Cheltenham away, Charlton at home, Port Vale at home. you'd be looking at that and thinking that's 9 points. I think if we win those home games and see what we can pick up away, I'm pretty certain we're going to
9 points. If you're wanting to get in the top 2, there's no real margin for error now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Charlton at home, we owe them one. Port Vale, they're on the beach. Nothing to play for.
Yeah.
Really. And they're probably going to be, Charlton will be a sellout. Even Port Vale on a Tuesday night in League One, we're probably going to get about 27,000.
Yeah. Even though I can't normally get up for Tuesdays, not motivation-wise, just in terms of travel, I'm going to be coming into that game. I'll be coming to that one.
Because everybody wants to be there now, and everyone wants to see us, and everyone's enjoying it. And you think yesterday we had over 100 first-time fans, Matt.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. Yeah.
Look at the buzz that's around the club. Really and the youngsters, like last title, 91-92. We haven't seen Town lift the trophy.
Yeah.
So you have to enjoy these moments, and
absolutely.
And you have to lap it up. This is brilliant.
If you've read our forward in Colin's book, you'll see that who's going to be writing this version of Colin's book in years to come. You've got to have this. You've got to have the success in order to breed the interest, haven't you? And hopefully, this is just the very. Yeah. What did Ashton say at the forum? He said this is just the end of the beginning.
But promotions and that don't happen every day of the week.
Exactly.
It takes a lot of bloody hard work, and if we get out of this league, which we all want to do, but
we'll come to the forum in a minute. But McKenna said something at that forum which reminded me of something. I can't remember which game it was after. It was either Bristol Rovers or it was Oxford in the fog, when he was really under pressure and it
Lincoln
felt like
away. It was Lincoln away.
Oh, was it Lincoln? It's going to take
1-1, and he said it's going to take a mammoth effort to get out. That was when he had it was the penalty decision that was given in that game.
Yeah,
and he was frustrated. That was the first time I'd probably heard him.
He was under pressure
because he's quite calm, calculated. How he talks after game. That was the first time, and I thought, well,
that was probably that was the moment I was thinking, is this the right guy for us? Because we've only got a point.
He said it's going to take him. What was his actual words?
A huge effort or massive effort to get out of this league, wasn't it? It was something along those lines. And he did reference. It's obviously played in his mind, as has the fog, because that got referenced at the forum as well.
Well, so it should, because that still baffles me even now that the game was completed.
It still rankles. But you could argue he has delivered the huge effort against the odds. What was it? Only the 9th team in Football League history to put this run of 8 games together. I mean, I give full credit to him. He's found that effort. I didn't think he was going to do it. And at such a tender age to be able to get us into that top 2.
He's been learning on his feet as he's gone along.
I mean, I don't think I've said all season, I don't think the Ipswich job is a learning job because the stakes are so high. And as we keep saying, and they kept waxing lyrical in the forum. You're getting full houses against Wycombe and what have you. So it doesn't feel like a learning job to me. But I mean, fair play to him because maybe a lesser character. And he said, didn't he? I think you read out once on the shows. He said, I'm a resilient person, and that's why I've got to where I am now at such a young age. And I think he has.
What Emerson says there, Matt, in the chat, 6 wins guarantees promotion.
Yeah.
So you've got margin for error in 1 game.
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think Sheffield Wednesday are going to rise above 93 points because they've got to be 2 points a game from here on in. And I don't
Wednesday have to win all games. I think Wednesday got to win all 6.
They've got to go from down here in the form table to back up there. And I think that's going to be a real tough ask for them. And people are saying, is it Smith? Is he now out injured for them?
He missed the game yesterday. He had Mallet Wilkes was playing. But it's funny, isn't it? Before the 6 games, they'd won 5 on the trot.
Yeah.
Town won 1 in 8. And now we've won 8 on the trot, and they've not won in 6. It's just the turnaround is amazing when you think about where it was.
Yeah. Tell us in the comments, though. Like I say, I agree with Lewis. I think Plymouth rightly are probably going to win the league just because we took our foot off the pedal in the winter of discontent, got ourselves back into contention. And I think Town are probably going to finish second, circa 93, 94, around then. Look, who knows what Sheffield Wednesday will get.
I know we'd like to win the title.
Oh, yeah, I'd love to see us win. Like you said, we are, it's the only trophy my dad was ever at Portman Road to see lift this.
I think if we sit here now and say we'd finish second, I think we'd.
Well, you'd take it. The prize is still the same. You're still going to be in the championship, aren't you? Do you want to? Is there anything else you want to add about yesterday? Do you want to move over to the forum? People were at the forum. Didn't have any views on it.
Craig was in the chat earlier, so his little boy Jake was a mascot yesterday.
Oh right, lovely.
And he was hoping to come out with Connor Chaplin, his favourite player, and he's wrote a great letter to Connor Chaplin, and he'd give it to his Connor Chaplin's mum after the game. It's brilliant. He's only 6, and he wanted to come out with Connor, but I was talking to Craig's wife, and they were asking all the mascots, who's your favourite player? Chaplin. Who's your favourite player? Chaplin. But he knew that Chaplin comes out 7th in the line. This is a 6-year-old. This is a 6-year-old. And I was looking when he came out. There he was with Connor Chaplin. So he's had a great day. Town have won 4-0. And I was speaking to Craig last night. I said, I'd never had a chance to be mascot. And Craig said, he thinks they should do an adult mascot day.
Would you be first? You going full kit?
Yeah. I've seen a few now when they do like stag do's and they stitch somebody up. And they'll come out in the full kit. There he is. Craig's in the chat. They're coming in the full kit, holding the captain's hand.
If you was at Colin's book launch, everyone, Jake is the little lad who had the silver foil
FA Cup. Brilliant. Yeah,
great kid. Oh, brilliant. I'm glad he had a really good day. But big shout out to Craig from Portsmouth and his good lady wife. Sorry I didn't get to chat to you yesterday. I was not going on at full time. But yeah, do you want to move over to the forum? Yeah. I mean, when you consider we're doing 30,000 almost in the stadium, I think the watch back on that's only like 10,000 views. This is where you're getting all the details. This is where you're finding out you've got to turn up early for the.
To me, that it was sold out either. Like, I don't know. Look, I went to the first one, but for me to go, it's about 70 miles to drive there when I can sit in my armchair, have a cup of tea. Yeah. And it's only an hour and a half, and I'll just watch it on. I thought it was good. We could look.
I quite enjoyed it.
You could question some of the questions that are asked, but to be fair, it does take a lot of balls to stand up in front of a room and ask a question. So
yeah,
I think they might, moving forward, I wouldn't be surprised if they went down and sort of have the questions sort of ready to go. Because I know they've done something off social media, but I think in the room, some of them you're thinking, you've got the CEO, you've got Mike O'Leary, you've got Mark Ashton sitting in front of you, and you're asking like the first one when the guy was asking about bottle tops, and you're thinking,
he's never going to live that one down, is he?
No, he's not. It was a silly question.
It was. Oh, big shout out, David Bergen. David, he's coming back over for the Exeter game.
He's all booked up, hotels booked,
lovely.
Ready to roll.
Thanks
come to see Sam Morsey.
Yeah,
the trophy.
€4 in
the trophy. If we won the league already there, or do we have to wait until Fleetwood away to collect it?
I was thinking this. You don't want to be lifting the trophy there, do you? But I mean, on the continent, of course, they put together special things. So you could have a special ceremony in the stadium, in the centre circle. You know, like Real Madrid, when they introduce new players. Like the whole Bernabeu was like packed for the new signing, especially certainly in the Galactico age of their place. I was thinking you could do something in the stadium.
Try out, didn't they, when they're juggling the ball when they used to sign all the Galacticos?
Yeah, absolutely. You could do something like that because and we'll come to this in a minute. The pitch is getting replaced anyway. But I mean, look, it's a real shame we have to go to.
Talking about the pitch, did you see when the accounts had come out how much they spent on them lighting rigs in electricity?
It was, how much was it? Because he referenced that, didn't he, O'Leary? In the
800 grand.
800, he said, didn't he? Have they got a special deal now with the energy provider or something?
This is unbelievable. If you live in here Ipswich and you see a big extension lead plugged in someone's outside bloody plug, you're thinking, oh look, but 800 grand. But this is what we are as a footballer. I looked at the pitch yesterday, and obviously because the weather's warming up, it did look a little bit better yesterday, Matt.
Yeah, it did. I agree with that. That side nearest to you is always a bit crap, isn't it?
Yeah, this is where the stand is. You know, you don't get a lot of natural light in there. It's just how the stadium's been. Well, it's how it's been built, and then then you go onto the forum, and then they're talking about the Cobbold stand being replaced.
Yeah,
it's all a bit of a mishmash, isn't it? When you think how the ground's been built, because if you think of the Pioneer stand, we've been in that middle section. The top tier was just put on. Extended up, didn't they? They didn't flatten the whole lot and then start from the ground.
No, went straight on top. That extension cost us a team, didn't it?
Well,
so Bobby's.
You've not got a very great record when we're building new stands. When you look at the Pioneer stand and then obviously the two stands at the ends there, what that happened when we were in the Premier League.
That's clearly going to be look. They're talking about it, so it's clearly it's going to take ages, isn't it? I mean, you have to be a mainstay Premier League team, I think, in order to be able to do that. Plus, you've got all the planning permission that comes with it. That's obviously a road. I mean, look, they've obviously got links with the council, but that's going to take I would say that's going to take at least 5, 6, 7 years, I would have thought. But it was interesting how they said you go back over the road. He said they might cancel either over the road. But Martin seems to think you would. He reckoned if you was a mainstay team with the Arizona ownership in the Premier League, you'd need 3 tiers on that, and maybe you start actually, because he referenced Villa Park, didn't he, Ashton, in the forum? Yeah. You actually start connecting the stands. Like if you look at an aerial view of Villa Park, it's no longer 4 stands separate. Some of them are
interesting. If you look at they've done the stand at Bristol City there.
That
had a revamp the stadium there when Mark Ashton went in. He done a
what a surprise.
Still gets a lot of stick. Still gets a lot of stick maybe from Bristol City fans on the socials. But look, that's going to be the long-term plan. We've sat in the cobble this season, Matt. It's outdated. Yeah. They must struggle every year to get the safety certificate. Someone asked a question about the tannoy system. I spoke to one of my mates yesterday. Yeah, they can't hear over there. I know Gov sits in there. They can't hear half time when they're having an interview. Yeah. Because it's design and the wiring, and this is where it's like they've come in and there's so much work to do, isn't there? Still, they've done a lot of work so far, but there's still so much. And then someone asked another question about having another screen.
To go in the other corner. I think the fact that when they came in off the back of the Evans era, I think they hate everything about Portman Road, don't they? They don't have a great feel for that stadium, do they? Which is why I think they've gone.
I'd love to be a fly on the wall when Mark Ashton and Mike O'Leary had their first walk around the stadium. I mean, we got here. What must they have thought?
Yeah, absolutely.
What must they have thought? What an absolute shithole.
So that's that new pitch then going in. It's going to be the Desso pitch that they got at Wembley. So it'll be as I've said on here before, it'll be tractors with tents over them, so you can't see how it's done. Top secret. How they lay the Desso.
It'd be great. They put some great content out now. The club. It'd be great if they, through the summer, have a video or one of them VO cameras over on the Cobbold side, so we can follow what they're doing. It'd be great. I'd really enjoy that.
I'm sure
bit of a pitch geek. I like a bit of a pitch geek, if I'm honest.
It's your world, isn't it?
They've done the training run. They've done the 3 pitches up there. They look absolutely magnificent.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing it. But he said this is the biggest bit of infrastructure they've done since the building.
How much is this going to cost? How much is this going to cost? They said millions.
Yeah, it's going to cost a lot of money.
Because you've got irrigation system, undersoil heating's going in.
Yeah. The
pitch, and you think it was 2 years, I think, yesterday since we or this week since the takeover.
Oh, is it really? 2 anniversary.
So you look at
another €5 from David.
If anyone missed the takeover shows, you can go back on YouTube.
You can go back and watch them. They're great fun.
How far we've come in them 2 years.
Another €5 from David. Thanks, David. Keep your money in your pocket, David. You got flights to be paying for. See us lifting trophies.
But you think how far we've come in 2 years, Matt?
Oh God, yeah. I mean, we've all been critical of Ashton a little bit. And I've been critical of the manager, but I'm so happy for the owners. If this season does league, I think they're fantastic, and they were brilliant with us on the shows. They came on, had a great laugh with us. They put their money where their mouth is. As Mark Ashton said in January, they were still saying, "Do you want to bet anyone else in?" But we're in such great hands at the moment. I think it's brilliant.
What about when they were on about? He was on about player trading.
Player trading was a funny one because you and me spoke about this, didn't we? So I mean, look, that's obviously their big thing, isn't it? Explain it. You could see how happy he was explaining it, could you, Ashton? But to me, it didn't stack up because of all the money. He said, if you look at over a 3-year period, we've only done 2 years, haven't they? The only one we've really sold for any serious money is Dazelle and Downs. And you've got to think we probably had a bit of a what was the sell-on clause from Swansea to West Ham?
Yeah, came to us. Got a little bit there. But then when he says about they've literally not spent a penny, but then he's speculating for that 3rd year there, surely, isn't he?
I think if you're looking at the 3rd year, then you're selling people back into League One, aren't you? I would have thought. People that if we're in a championship, that brings me to Janoy, right? So Janoy's done a year extension on his deal?
Yeah, he had a 12-month extension. They've triggered it, haven't they?
And Martin, as soon as Martin saw that, didn't he? He was like, WhatsApp us and said, "That's to sell him." I totally agree with him because if you're going to go into the championship, you want to. I don't know everyone in the comments thinks you want an understudy similar style to Clark, do you not? That marauding kind of almost wing back style play, which Janoy, for all his positives, he's not that, is he?
No.
And he can't really cross the ball. And look at Clark yesterday, always looking to shoot, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a good shot there first half.
Absolutely.
He was in my 4th for man of the match, but then there's a couple of people messaging me on Twitter this morning saying How many times did he give the ball away in the first half hour? I thought he was one of our best players in the first half hour. I thought he had a really good game. I think he needs to work on the fist pump a little bit. He needs to wait. Luke Chambers, when he done it,
too early. Agreed.
Luke Chambers waited till it all calmed down a little bit, and then he'd come and do it. Whereas
this is the icing on the cake moment.
Harry's a little bit. He's a bit too eager for me at the minute.
Yeah. Well, so Lee Anderson saying, he's right here, of course. Player trading was based on last season, not this season's spend. So it'll be interesting how they move that going forward. And as one of the guys said to me yesterday in the Pioneer stand, he said, "How much money do you think we'll spend if we do go up?" And I think if you're laying if you're laying a Premier League pitch and the cost of that, I don't think you're looking to spend a lot of time in the Championship, are you? You want to sort of see if you can go through it pretty quickly, and I think you might see a spend in accordance with that, don't you think?
It depends where people think that we need strengthening. That'd be interesting. Yeah. People in the chat, where do you think? Obviously, there'll be a striker in there somewhere. But where else? Where else are we going to strengthen? Because I see people saying, "Oh, this team could do well in the Championship, possibly," but we still need 30 million. Probably means we're spending 30 million.
Wow, God!
Not
Who's bringing in, Colin?
Not in.
I mean, look, people think this team's already Championship ready. Like Richard Chandler in the Discord thinks we could still be, but this team could be top 10. But then you're not paying whipping boys every week, are you? Like your Forest Greens and that. It's going to be different. You've got at least you've got 3 clubs coming down from the Premier League for one thing. If you do make it there, West Ham could be one of them.
But I think it's time's coming, right? Time's coming when that lot up the road, we owe them big time, Matt.
Oh God, yeah, I've got a mate who's an Orange fan.
Massively. Yeah, there's people out there watching Town at the minute, young fans who've never ever, not since win a trophy, they've never seen us beat Norwich.
Yeah, you know? Yeah. 2009, I think, was it not? Was it 2009?
2009, Jim's last game. We've not beaten them since that day.
It's unbelievable.
But everything in football, it cycles.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
And it's the wheels turning. Look, they could make the playoffs. They could squeak in. They could get out. I don't think they will because I don't think they're good enough this season. But our time is coming, and we'll all be there. We'll all be there when we beat Norwich. Yeah. We will be.
I've already said to I know ex-work colleagues in Norwich fan. I've already said we're coming for you. I can feel the trepidation.
You were yesterday in the second half. The North Stand starts singing Norwich City. We're coming for you, and you think, we are coming. It's coming very soon. It is. I don't think they're
100% sold on Wagner, are they? Either as a manager, they're trying to repeat what I mean. Look, he's kind of followed Daniel Farke's route through Borussia Dortmund, but I don't. He's not as good as manager.
But I'll see the tweet last week from a Norwich fan after they'd lost to Sheffield United, and like the stadium they're saying, the support. Now that Premier League money only lasts for so long. They were lucky the other year when they got out. I think it was on their last year.
Yeah.
If they hadn't, don't worry. We'll be going past them in the not too distant future. And maybe we can get them. Maybe we'll get the old Talk Norwich City guys on. That'd be good, wouldn't it?
Who knows? We did ask them in the early days, and they ignored us. No,
but you did pull out that certificate for the Clutch Cup.
The old certificate. If you've never seen that, one of our first shows when they made the FA Cup 6th round. We were like saying they could have a little certificate. Put it on your honours next to the what was it, Mr. What was it? What was the cup?
Participants.
Yeah.
Cup. Participants. That's actually in their honours in the programme. Participants. We won a European trophy, guys. You ain't. You've bloody just fuck. Nonsense.
What was the trophy? What's the major trophy they've won? Not the Milk Cup, the one that Mike Bassett won for them. The Mr. Something Cup, wasn't it? I can't remember what it was called. They could put that next to that.
No, they won the Milk Cup.
Yeah, the milk jug, Colin called it.
That was a sore one. I remember 85 when they beat us.
Should have been us. I think we just had a message from Martin here. Let's have a little look.
What's he saying?
Oh, Mr. Clutch Cup. Thank you, Martin. Mr. Clutch Cup. That was it. That's their major honour. We spoke about it earlier. Fleetwood. Speaking of a beam back potentially, that's the worst case scenario, isn't it? You said, where do they live? If we do go up, if we win a trophy, etc., is it lifted there? I mean, that's the worst place, isn't it? What's that hole? 5,000? Highbury?
About 6. They can do one more beam back, can't they?
Yeah, they're allowed to. It's going to be that, surely.
You're allowed 2 a season. They'll be interesting when the ticket details come out. I think they'll be coming out. I think it's 4 weeks today.
Did you pay 20 quid last time and you got a pint and a pie and all that thing? Might do that. Might go.
Oh, for the Cambridge game, they've done that, didn't they?
Yeah, yeah. Ashton was there for that one, wasn't they? That'd be interesting. It's just a shame you ain't going like MK Dons where you could take 7, 8, 9,000.
It would probably be. I'd have thought that game would probably be on Sky.
Yeah, potentially would be. Be a Sunday, won't it?
It'd be nice if we wrapped up by then and we could just go there and have a little party on the beach.
Yeah. And my last little one here is what was all this about Ipswich City? Ipswich is trying to become a city.
They're going for city status, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
We'll always be called Ipswich Town.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, he kind of alluded to that, didn't he? The heritage of the club would never change from.
Did you like yesterday? Blue Action done a great display. Did you like the Ipswich Railway sign?
I did. Yeah.
Great,
Mike Woods. Big shout out, Mike Woods. Who I got the train back with. He took a photo of that. He being an ex-railwayman. Yeah, really good.
That's going to be interesting next season when obviously because Ashton keeps referencing the singing section, and then someone asked him about.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're supposed to be sitting down, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can't see.
Stewarding only goes so far.
Exactly. When you've got in that block A, which is probably going to be. How are they policing that? If you've got a season ticket in there already, I think you could obviously you could move, couldn't you, if you wanted to?
Yeah.
But you're probably going to be limited where you can go. Now they're going to obviously cap it at 21,000. Get your season tickets quick. I thought that was a good sales pitch because we might be on about 17,000. He's giving everyone a hurry up, isn't he?
Well, I mean, that leads me to actually, I meant to mention this to you earlier. I mean, Martin were discussing this in Portman Road car park yesterday. That 21,000, if you suddenly move through the division very, very quickly, right? You go through the championship. Say we get promoted, we go through the championship. And then suddenly that's in your core fan base, isn't it? Because when that Cobbold stand does come down, and you remember everyone that run for season tickets when we first got to the Premier League, and you had to have a certain amount of ticket stubs if you didn't have one and all that kind of thing. When you do lose a side, which invariably is going to happen at some point, that's your core fan base then, isn't it? 21,000.
How many would that hold, the Cobbold stand now?
I'm not sure. Anyone know in the comments? Colin, do you know?
So if you say they normally have like the away allocation when they're full is about just over 2.
So that goes to the upper tier of the Ramsey stand and maybe one of the lower tiers, like they have at Man City.
That stand, does that hold? Would you get just under 6,000 in there? Do you think?
Maybe.
So that disappears out your attendance. So immediately, you're not building a stand in the close season. You're going to be down by 6,000, just like that.
Yeah. Lee, Kev Sherwood says 6,300. Lee's about the same, 6.5. So that's then. So if you take that out, 27,000 yesterday, you've got the core base of 21,000 season tickets. That's effectively,
Because if you get to the Premier League, I think you have to. I think the allocation. I think it goes up to about 3,000, Matt. If you're in the
for away, yeah, they'd have probably the top end of the if they went into the Ramsey stand.
So you top. Do you remember West Ham being in there for the playoffs?
I do, and Glasgow Rangers.
I remember the Rangers friendly.
Carnage.
You
with West Ham in there. Yeah.
I can't remember when that because obviously when they built the Sir Alf, they built on top of that, didn't they?
Yeah.
So you didn't lose no crowd there. You just built up, and then with the North Stand, they just flattened the whole lot, didn't they?
Yeah, probably bad timing that really. Yeah, that big. Yeah, it'd be weird, wouldn't it? It'd be weird looking out over to the car parks, like. It'd be very strange. But
it's in the works. It's probably about 4 or 5 years away.
Yeah. Exciting.
If you're sitting there already, Martin, you've got a few more years to go, I think. It just depends how well we do on the pitch, obviously, because with our record of stands, we don't want another millstone around there next, do we? Really building another stand. But with the owners and that, and they're in. I think they said, I'm not sure who's. Is it Ed Schwartz is in property?
Him and Detmer, I think.
So they know what they're doing. We've got the right people. Like we said when this all started, Matt. We never had that infrastructure, did we? It was Marcus Evans, Lee O'Neill having about 5 jobs. And now you look, we've got proper football people in every proper position, haven't we?
And we were crying out for this, weren't we, under the Evans era? Remember we were saying, bring Derek Bowden back. Do you remember? After he left Essex Cricket Club.
Here, radical idea, buy the car park, build a brand new stadium there, keeping one open while you're building a new one. Once done, demolish older stands and back into a car park. But they're on about building an aquatics centre there.
Are they?
Yeah, I think I heard somewhere.
A bit like what Tottenham did, really, wasn't it? It's sort of built around and into.
They were lucky that they had this sort of land there, didn't they? That they could build on. Obviously, that's probably got the best stadium in the country now, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
So
it was a good fans forum. I mean, I'll take my look. They went a bit quiet, didn't they? Out through the lean spell. But I mean, fair play to them for. And everyone likes the transparency. You had no transparency, over Evans. We didn't even know what the geezer looked like for about a decade. So fair play to them for all fronting up. I like their little introductions as they like come through, like as if they're going to the boxing ring or something, walking down the corridor. It was the same room where we did Colin's launch, wasn't it?
Yeah,
the Bobby Robson suite. So it was all good. That's pretty much it. Should we quickly look ahead? I think probably we'll have Martin back Friday, will we, for the usual, and in the week for the usual shows.
Me and you Tuesday night.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, me and you.
Oh, okay.
Check your diary. You should know this.
I best check. Thoughts on Cheltenham? How long will it take you to get there from your?
About 3 hours. I think we'll leave 8:30, 9. Get down there, get something to eat.
Yeah, tight little ground.
Got to pick up a couple of tickets for some people that I've got tickets for.
Yeah, nice.
I like this time of year because you're going down there. The weather's decent. It's warming up.
Yeah. Optimism is in your heart.
We have to be optimistic now. If you're never optimistic now, you're never ever going to be watching Town, are you? Really?
Absolutely.
But we're going down there. Look, we're banging form. They've lost yesterday to Lincoln. They've got nothing to play for.
No, they've achieved their goal of staying in the division.
Staying in the league again, which every season, if Cheltenham stayed in League One, is a success for them, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
But we
put them to the sword, I'd say. Yeah.
They were another team that we didn't beat at Portman Road. Drew 1-1, didn't we?
Frustrating, very frustrating day.
So there's another game here. There's another game here. There's another 3 points on the line, Matt. And come 5-5 on Monday evening, we really should have another 3 points on the board. And
I hope so.
Then you're going into Charlton at home and Port Vale at home when you're thinking, right, this is where we're moving, and we're moving, and we're moving in the right direction. And but you have to keep that momentum going. Colin, I know Colin, he had a question there in the chat a little while ago. How many games did he think people think they're going to win? Colin's gone for 7 out of 7.
Well, I mean, look, you wouldn't say no at the moment. I do feel like Barnsley and Peterborough are going to be tricky matches. But if you watched the performance yesterday, I can't see Ipswich losing at the moment. But like you say, a week's a long time in football. As we said earlier, since February is a long time. Look at the turnaround. But yeah, I mean, look, we're riding a crest of a wave. If we can't go and win at Cheltenham, we've got nothing to play for. But it's again, tight stadium. They'll probably have similar tactics to what Wycombe had yesterday, and maybe defend a little bit. They've lost the throw-in threat, haven't they? With the guy who went to we go Wrexham, didn't he? That geezer, Tozer, Ben Tozer.
Well, yesterday, then Wrexham slipped up, didn't they? First, they dropped. They lost to Halifax away 3-1, right? And they haven't drawn any games. This was the first points they've dropped since October. Now, if anyone hasn't seen the National League, it is amazing. You've got Notts County on 100 points.
Yeah, yeah.
Played one more game than Wrexham.
Yeah.
Wrexham second on 100 points. Who do they play on Bank Holiday Monday?
Got Notts County.
Wrexham at home to Notts County. Now, I don't know if anyone's watched the documentary with Wrexham. Brilliant documentary. But if Notts County can win that game on Monday, even though Wrexham have a game in hand, I think Notts County's goal difference, Matt, is about 7 or 8 better, and it'll be in their hands. And you're thinking, this is incredible. It's going to be incredible in our league when we're going to have teams on 90 points not getting promoted. You're going to have a team here who get 100. Well, they're 25 points clear of third place.
It's mental, that, isn't it? They should change. I think they're looking to do that, aren't they? To have 3 up, 3 down from League Two.
Well, they're lucky this season because if it was 3 down from League Two, Cole, you would be banging trouble. Because they are right in the mix. I think they got a good draw yesterday. They drew 1-1 away at.
Who's the kid scoring all the goals? People have been talking about him in our Discord, haven't they? 41 goals he got from us. Yeah, for Notts County. 41 goals.
He was playing step 10 football last year.
Wow, fair play to him.
And he's their first ever. Well, he's their record scorer in the season now. So if you're not watching, I don't know what time that game kicks off on Monday. If it's not when Town are playing,
Sport, I think it's on.
Yeah, I'll be getting that game on because that will be an absolute.
We'll record it and watch it back. Yeah, absolutely.
Do you want
Go on in, do some takeaways. Yeah, we could do them earlier, weren't we? We never got to them.
Yeah, but we're at the end, so I'll fly through them. Right, takeaways. I'll do this every game. If you want to get involved over on Twitter, your free word what would your free word takeaway, Matt, be from the weekend?
I like the one Collins just posted here. Love you, Lee.
There you go.
What
right.
Go on, continue. I'll think of one.
Everything can come back to me in the end. Rob Pooley, We're Going Places. Craig Chapman, Mascot Day Memories. Mark Goddard, Timing is Everything. Mark Rattle, on to Monday. Daryl Otto, Dare We Believe. He says, the one I've been saying for weeks. Andrew Peck, ITFC going up. Saj, love this team. Alan Dobson, impressive team cohesion. Matt Cashburn, it's within sight. Jordan Addison, that is promotion. Gone a little bit early there, Jordan. Andy Rudge, we're going up. Adrian, top two, everybody. Harry Dono, Chappers finishing masterclass. Nice. All the way to Australia, Western Australia. Our friend Rob Burnett, Super Kieran McKenna. Nice. Have you got the book yet? Rob? Colin's book, get it over there. Tony Thorpe, We March On. Dino, fans singing loud. Gary P, let's go again. Phil Kettridge, very good Friday. Chris Dowsing, it's happening. Samantha, 4-0. Paul Booley, bring it on. Blue Flyer, same again, please. Now, Richard Faulkner, every week. Shout out, Richard. He does some brilliant ones because he doesn't give me one. Do you want me to read them all out? They're brilliant. Anyone from those January signings, boss the pitch, a complete performance, bring on Monday, big matches coming. Let's fill Barnsley, players, fans together, very special team, 9 clean sheets. Let's start believing, ours to lose. Matt Stannard, just too good. Billy Baxter, shout out Billy. He's got the one I've got of on my name today. Hot crossbuns. Love that. Do you like hot crossbuns?
Big fan. Very big fan. You don't like mince pies either, do you? You're not good on seasonal food.
No. Matt Stannard, Colin wins 80 quid. Actually, Matt, it was 85. GGC 109, 100 first timers. Shout out to the 100 fans. Scott Grimwood, 7 finals left. Mike, the Fisherman Brown, educated game plan. Dean Mitchell, 9 clean sheets. Turbo, ITFC, we are massive. Christine Smith, simply the best. Ben, feet on the ground. MD, 100 points promotion. Richard Chandler, championship ready club, Matt. Kev Sherwood. Kev's been having a sleep. He only joined us a little while ago. I hope you had a good sleep, Kev. Dreams come true. Success breeds success. Appreciate every moment. Don't overthink it. Whole stadium rocking. Read Colin's book. Running towards adversity. Peter Dowling. This is a good one. Peter Dowling. Devon Lock Wednesday. Do we remember Devon Lock, the horse?
Yeah, I do remember that name. Yeah.
Peter Dowling, another one. Hot Cross Owls. Peter Dowling, another one. No Hands Burton. Adam C. Promotion at Barnsley. Liam, top for 10 minutes. Well, we might be there in the season.
It's good while it lasted.
Ben Moore is at the game yesterday. I'll be back.
Yeah, Ben.
Bill Jacobs, keep on going. James Cummins, we are second. Tractor Boy Nick, fantastic team play. Anthony Miles has got a few. We are flying. Keep top 2. Yes, we did. On to Cheltenham, up we go. Daniel Jackson, Dare We Dream. Jason Fulcher. Burns levered that. Keeper didn't fancy, though, did he, Jace? David Eaton, Town on Fire. Nick Castaldo, absolutely fucking incredible. JM, love this feeling. Jen Bacon, it's happening. Daniel Story, Town going second. Trevor B, automatic promotion. And then Jack, the last one. He sent me a little picture and it's got 9 Christian Waltons. Someone say 9. Thanks for everyone who's got involved. We're doing it again on Monday when we beat Cheltenham.
Yeah, I hope so. Well, my one would be for Kieran McKenna. Prove me wrong. I'm happy about that. I've got a smile on my face saying that.
Football, it's the long game, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what mine would be. It's the long game because it's a long old season, Matt.
Yeah.
And you have your ups and downs, and we all make wild predictions, and it's what it's all about on here. You've got to stick your neck out sometimes and say it as it is, and people will come and you say, "Oh, you said that," but listen, we don't sit on the fence.
No, exactly. And you got to have. We have to put different opinions and mix into the mix just to, to get the debate going for everyone to keep you coming back. A little bit of theatre don't help anyone, does it? What's your score for tomorrow? What are you going for?
It's not tomorrow. It's Monday.
What's your score for Monday?
Right. I did say initially I said 1-1, but I've got to change. I've got to go for Town win. I think we might concede. And I think it might do us good to concede a goal. If in a weird way, because we're a little bit fixated. I know Kieran's not really interested. He says he's not interested about stats. It's not. If we win 4-3 on Monday, Matt, we'll all be happy.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to concede a goal somewhere along the line.
Yeah,
the only thing I was talking to Cole this morning is in these remaining 7 games, there'll probably be a time when we go 1-0 down. And this is when I want to see, like Plymouth did yesterday, they're losing 1-0 at half time and they come back and win that game. And for me, that's the sign of a team that's going to get promoted.
You
know, so if we go 1-0 behind on Monday or another game, it's not the end of the world.
No. 3 points is more. Look at the goal difference. 3 points is more important, isn't it? And we will concede. Maybe sometimes it's good to get that monkey off your back a little bit because everyone keeps talking about the record. But the only record we want is to finish first or second.
If you look over the 8 games we've won, and the massive jump in goal difference is amazing.
Yeah,
and that could prove crucial in the end, Matt.
It's 22 goals unanswered. I think I can. Me and Mike counted it up on the train yesterday. I think it's 22 unanswered. But yeah, for me, I think we'll win tomorrow. I think we'll keep that momentum going. We could concede. It could be 2. I'm probably going to go. Was it Alfie May? Is it the guy?
Alfie May.
Yeah, he might just sneak in something from a corner or something. I think we'll win 2-1. I think we'll keep it running. But
just keep that momentum building. And then we're back on. I think Martin's he'll do a show on Monday after the game, won't he? And then me and you are back on that Tuesday night. I think 8:30.
I'm still off for the next week, so I've got to get out of this bubble.
Talking about another Town 3 points and another step to near to promotion.
Yeah, I hope so. Hopefully the gaffer has got my little message saying we're about to finish. If we're still on the screen in 5 seconds, Rich, please press leave studio. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. I'm glad you all enjoyed yesterday. 4-0. We're all smiling. Enjoy your Easter. If you're going to Cheltenham on Monday, safe travels. Bring back 3 points, and we'll see you on Tuesday. You make me